Hello, Internet. I'm Jason Johnson, and what just happened? What happened pretty much this weekend was an amazing weekend to be a wrestling fan. Probably one of the best weekends. Let me start off by saying NXT TakeOver Dallas, possibly one of the best cards by far NXT has ever produced. I'm not, and this is the first TakeOver special I've watched, and let me say this, the best way to actually, I'm glad I actually subscribed to the network. And let me start off how NXT TakeOver went. Let me say this. First off, it was the NXT Tag Title match. My goodness, it was great. For pretty much the first time seeing American Alpha, great technical team taking on the revival of Dash Nelson. Let me say this. Two great match. That was a great matchup, tag match. And the crowd was so into it, when American Alpha won, it was the best crowd reaction I ever, probably one of the best crowd reactions I've seen, and that was great. Next match between Austin Aries, Barrett, and Corbin, it was actually pretty good. There wasn't like a lot of build on it, so, but the match was great. I mean, that was actually a fun match. Actually, it was interesting at the end of towards the when they were outside the ring, when Baron Corbin hit the deep six on Aries, and somehow Austin Aries crawling back in and pretty much saying to bring it, motherfucker. That was hilarious. That was pretty good. That was an amazing weekend there. That was pretty much a great match there. The next match and the next three matches that was on that card, my goodness, main events, perfect, great main events. And the first one between Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn, holy shit, match of the year by far. It's match of the year by far, and I say this, if you do try to subscribe to the network, search TakeOver Dallas, and you will see what I'm talking about. My God, it was amazing. It was an amazing match. Amazing. And let me say this. That was a match I'm glad I spent my money on. Next was between Asuka and Bayley, and for women's title and NXT's women's title. And let me say this, it was a great women's match. And it was a great ending to see the match of Asuka winning title, Bayley passing out. That was actually surprising. Now that spot may be like a little done to death, but it was nice. But it doesn't matter. Asuka's champ, and I think she will be great as a great women's champion. She has been around business for a long time, so she actually has won multiple championships in multiple promotions in wrestling. So I'm thinking this will be great to help bring NXT's women's wrestling up to much more, to another standard, another level. And finally, the main event between Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. I'm gonna say this, it was a great match. Only problem I have is pretty much the doctors trying to clean up Joe, and that was the only problems, because they constantly kept stopping the match to clean up Joe, and for like one cut that was below his eye, so it wasn't going to affect him really. But WWE's like, blood is the devil's poison, and we need to scrub this from any part of any way possible. And the crowd hated it, and pretty much it was like, let Joe bleed, let PG sucks, let them fight. And but either way, it was a great match up. It was interesting to see how Finn Balor actually countered the Kina clutch. That was a great counter. So I'm gonna say that was great, and I'm glad Finn Balor won, because he needs to be at the top of his NXT the way it is right now. He needs to be at the top of NXT. He shouldn't go to the main roster anytime soon. So, and besides, he has we're pretty much waiting for Gallows and Anderson to to make their appearance in NXT. Then I'm probably sure they'll bring Finn up to the main roster. That's something I think should happen. But that's me here. And that was overall, that was a great card, actually, from top to bottom. My goodness. The best part about TakeOver Dallas was pretty much Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura, and pretty much those two hitting each other with these stiff forearms and elbows for like 2 minutes standing, and both of them kept standing after between this harsh, painful exchange, and you're just wondering, what are these two are beyond human. And I gotta say, that is great match. Also, one thing I have to say is, what happened to that security guard? Actually, Friday, that's one takeaway I have from that, is what happened to that security guard, because that dude just got murdered. If you watch the main event, that guy, he got murdered. Also, Bobby Roode made an appearance, was actually in the crowd during TakeOver Dallas. So, what could that mean? Does that mean Bobby Roode signed a deal with WWE? Or, and I think this could be something, there has been news that TNA has a mystery, is in conversation with a mystery investor. Could that mystery investor be Triple H or Vince McMahon? It would be a surprise, but I don't know. Triple H got his hands on it, then this would be interesting. Nothing would really surprise me at that point. But anyway, moving on to WrestleMania. Let me say this. Now, everyone was expecting for this WrestleMania to be possibly shoulder injury musical, WB just scrambling, just put this person in this match here, put this man in this match here, and oh god, it's horrible. Kill this event, kill it with fire. Instead, I think WB pulled off this great mania. They actually made it sure this wasn't going to go badly. Now, I did not watch the kickoff show. I was busy at the point. So this is what I know happened. So Kalisto retained his U.S. title against Ryback. First of all, good, because damn it, if Ryback won it, we just took this a huge step backward, more backwards than we shouldn't have had it as that. So basically, first of all, good thing Ryback didn't win. Second, we have the Usos take on the Dudleys. Now, I don't know why they actually had this match. Now, I don't understand why they had the New Day League of Nations have a handicap match. But, I mean, this could have been like at least a triple threat TLC. No, for New Day, Usos, and Dudleys, and pretty much a triple threat TLC match at WrestleMania for the tag titles. But I guess if they did that, I guess what would the TLC pay-per-view actually be then? So I guess that nullifies the TLC pay-per-view. So guess never mind then. So I guess never mind then. In the end, Usos beat the Dudleys, and also Usos did 2 Samoan splashes on the Dudleys through tables. So that was good way. That was great. Then the 10 Diva tag match between Total Divas and Team Bad Blonde. I don't know how this went, but in the end, Total Divas won. So there's that. Then we get on to now the main card, this main show. They started off with the Intercontinental title ladder match. Let me say this: it was actually a pretty good match. Now, I would have wanted Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the IC title one-on-one. Now, we found out that there were plans. Originally couldn't be Kevin Owens retaining the title in the ladder match, but WWE decided to change it on the fly, and instead of that, we have a new Intercontinental champion, and he is Zack Ryder. Now, I don't know how this goes. Now, that means A, first of all, hooray, Zack Ryder won is actually made to actually had a WrestleMania match, and second, he won his first title in WrestleMania. So, hooray! Where we go from there, I don't know. So, there we are. Next match, we had a 6-man tag match between the New Day versus League of Nations. Now, this was originally going to be a handicap match between League of Nations, all 4 members of League of Nations, versus New Day, 3 members of New Day. That, I don't know what happened to Wade Barrett, so hello, Cole. And pretty much that is somehow interesting. Now, it was pretty much going to be, I was thinking it was going to be the New Day going over in this one, but instead of New Day winning, the League of Nations won. Then after the match, Wade Barrett grabbed a microphone, grabbed Mike, and said, "No free man team can take and beat this unit." And somehow, to everyone's surprise, Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, in his ring gear, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who to everyone's surprise, didn't even know that was going to happen, and stunned everybody, stunned everyone, and pretty much beating up everyone. Stone Cold stunning people, beers everywhere, and New Day tried to get both Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley dance. They got Shawn Michaels dance, they got Mick Foley dance a bit. Stone Cold, they tried to pretty much bait and switch stunners, Stone Cold stunners, Xavier Woods, and great moment there. It was hilarious, but it worked. Next was the no holds barred street fight between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. Now, this match was a little bit shorter than I think. Now I don't know why, and it was not very hardcore. It didn't give out that hardcore style and didn't give out that hardcore feel to it. More of a hardcore feel to it. So, and Brock Lesnar barely had a usage of the baseball bat. That was a problem, because Mick Foley gave Dean Ambrose a baseball bat. Terry Funk actually gave him a chainsaw, and even Dean tried to use the chainsaw, but we all knew we really wasn't going to use it, because we thought, oh, Dean Ambrose is actually going to use a chainsaw on Brock Lesnar? Well, okay, now this got odd. This is crazy. Well, we're about to see some crazy shit happen. That didn't happen. So, what happened there? So, in the end, Brock Lesnar won after giving 13 suplexes, the last one being on a pile of chairs, and then an F5 onto said pile of chairs for the win. Now, what this does, I'm probably assuming they're going to extend this to probably Payback or Extreme Rules. Possibly in an I Quit match. Oh, tell me you do not want to see that match, an I Quit match. Believe me. Next, after that, we had the Divas title match between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. Now, pretty much a majority of people thought Sasha Banks was going over in this match. This was actually a great match. Also, we found out that the title, that this Divas title, is officially retired. That means it's gone. Said it's replaced with a new women's title, which is pretty much almost like the WWE title, but it's pretty much white strap and it's a little different from it, but it's almost the same. But in the end, perfect. Finally, we can get rid of this freaking glorified butter accessory. Goodbye forever, Divas title. Besides, they deserve. Besides, that is somehow perfect. And let me say this: that match really stole the show from that moment. And let me say, and sadly, in the end, Sasha did not win. Charlotte retained and actually walked out with the new women's championship. Now, it should have been Sasha Banks. Honestly, now I don't know what happens here. Maybe they're extending this to Payback. Maybe Extreme Rules and maybe another triple threat. Who knows? What we can see what happens. Next, we had Shane versus The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. My goodness, that is insane. Hell in a Cell. Insane. Now, what happened was, it was pretty much a lot of spots. Shane doing his pen at coast to coast. There was a point where Undertaker broke the panel and went through it. It was a point where Undertaker actually got caught in a sleeper hold by Shane McMahon, and Undertaker jumped onto a table to break that hold. At the biggest spot of that thing, and probably one of the biggest spots in Hell in a Cell history, was Shane climbing onto the top of the cell and jumping off onto the announce table. Oh my God. Shane McMahon, are you okay? And are you fine? Are you sure Shane McMahon is alive? Also, we found out that Shane McMahon is okay. He was taken to a local medical facility. The stretcher, that thing with the stretcher, he was fine. He pretty much someone took him to the hospital, to like a local medical facility. He's fine. So sad. Now what happens there is, now, is this really like Undertaker's last WrestleMania? The question is, did that stipulation of if the Undertaker lost, would that be his last WrestleMania? The question is, it looked like it could have been. There's some speculation about that, because the Undertaker after match took off his gloves, took off his like MMA gloves off after the match. So that's the question there. Now, what was really the point of that? But I don't know. It's still buzz. There's still buzz to it. I don't know. Now, next match was, of course, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And let's say this. First of all, Shaq making an appearance. That was a surprise. That was a true surprise. Sadly, both Big Show and Shaq actually eliminate each other. Now after the show and exclusive, Shaq said he might have a challenge Big Show anytime, anywhere. Now, I don't know if next year is Big Show's last WrestleMania, but it looks like we may have pretty much maybe Big Show's last WrestleMania opponent. Seriously, Shaq versus Big Show at WrestleMania 33. I mean, that would be a surprise, and that would be fun to watch. That would be fun to watch, actually. So, we move. Now, now, in the end, Baron Corbin from NXT actually won it. Yes. Baron Corbin, 48 hours ago, who lost to Austin Aries, actually won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, last eliminating Kane. That was a great crowd give a crowd one last good pop before the main event. Then Rock appeared. Then before the main event, Rock appeared. Gay pretty much announced that he made that the attendance record, and the new one is 101,673. Wow, that is huge. Wow, my goodness, that is a huge number. Huge ass number. Then we finally found out the Wyatt family finally made an appearance, and that is and they cut a promo with The Rock, and it was an entertaining kind of event. Then little did we know, The Rock was going to wrestle. We actually found out Rock was going to wrestle Eric Rowan, and that match lasted 6 seconds. Yep. As soon as the bell rang, Rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, and match ends. Pretty much the Wyatt family was like, well, we don't get, well, okay, you pretty much beat one of our guys, but it doesn't stop us from actually getting at least some kind of comeuppance. And then, tell me everyone's surprised, it's Jonathan Q. Cena, everybody, and he returned, and The Rock and John Cena joined forces to beat up the Wyatt family, and it was an amazing moment to see that happen. And that was a moment a lot of us were surprised that would happen. Then, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Triple H. What happened there? Probably, let's say this, was this a good match? It was alright. We already knew what the result was, and let's be honest, you probably know what the result was. Roman Reigns won, okay? Roman Reigns won, and of course, what were reactions? Boos all around. Now, how did WWE try to cover it up? Simple. They use super loud pyros and had Roman Reigns entrance music super loud to make sure that happened to make it sure people think like, oh, people are excited, Roman Reigns won. Roman Reigns won. Reigns won, and I'm gonna say this in some kind of way. Will there be something out of this? Now, what happens next? Probably sure now. Payback, Triple H, Roman Reigns compete again. Roman Reigns retains. And what we heard from earlier this morning, actually, during today's show, there could be a teaser here from Roman, a possible feud with John Cena. Will John Cena be face at this? Will Roman Reigns be the heel? Or will John Cena be heel? That's the surprise there. So, what did I say about the WrestleMania? I think it was okay. I'm at least gonna give it a C plus, B minus, because they actually prayed that it worked. Actually made it work perfectly. It actually gave it's something. There were some things they could have fixed a bit, but they actually made it good out of the massive number of injuries that happened from last WrestleMania to now. They made it work perfectly, and the main event, they didn't really make anything much. There was no one interfered in that match. There wasn't anyone who actually main evented, who actually could have interfered, ran in. They could have made it. I mean, there was some speculation they would have made it a no DQ match. I don't know why they didn't make that happen, so what happened? So what I think about this weekend for NXT TakeOver Dallas, I'm pretty much giving it an A rating, pretty much a big A rating, because it was a great card and possibly one of the best. And they're probably, when I say this one, it was my first time watching TakeOver Dallas. I'm gonna say that's probably one of the best. I'm at least put that one of the best. And also, we just saw probably a great match of the year candidate by far, one of the best match of the year candidates. Probable shoe in for match of the year by far. In WrestleMania, pretty much a B minus, C plus rating. It was good enough, but there was some things they could have fixed. But in the end, it worked perfectly. It was great. I think WWE knew what they were doing, made it work out. It worked, and I think people are gonna love this event, but people are just gonna hate. But people have issue with the Roman Reigns going over. That's fine. I think Roman Reigns, the match was alright in my book. There could have been at least some interference run-ins, but I think it was a great it was a good match. It's an alright match. Okay, it was an alright match. So I might get that something I'm gonna get backlash for, but hey, who am I to argue? So that is WrestleMania weekend. That was WrestleMania weekend. So that was what just happened. Do you now tell me at home? Do you guys think that WrestleMania weekend was good or WrestleMania was not? Let me know about that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to smack it down on that subscribe button. Also whoop that candy ass of a like button there. Share it with your friends. Share with your friends. You can also follow me on Twitter, add me on Snapchat and Instagram, of course. Twitter at DarkSavior1996. Also, Instagram, Snapchat, JMoney1196. Also, if you want to listen to my music on SoundCloud, you can also listen to my music on SoundCloud at it's JMoney96, capital M, apostrophe 96, and apostrophe between J and M, JMoney96 there, and of course, and that's what just happened. And now by the time I get this video uploaded, I will have pretty much my NXT takeover live, my reactions to from beginning to end, and WrestleMania's my reactions to WrestleMania from beginning to end. I'm gonna let you know right now, WrestleMania's is almost 5 hours long. 5 hours long. There's some moments living like there are probably some things, and NXT Takeover was like about 2 was actually on point, was almost on point. WWE's is super long, so it's almost free by the time I'm done with this video, and by the time this comes up, and at the end I'm recording this, so by the time this comes up, which will be probably not very long, probably like 10, probably at least 4 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock. The others will probably be like around 6-7 o'clock. So yep, so that's what just happened. I'm Jason Johnson. I'll see you guys next time.